Hey, it's Risa coming to you live on Friday for some heart-to-heart conversation. I know it's been a little while since I've been in here. I've been kind of regrouping. I'm happy to be with y'all today. Please type in, say hi if you're here, if you're on the recording. So, darling, this is for you. If you are struggling in your relationship, you're not happy, you're frustrated, maybe you're in this question of whether or not you should stay or go. So I have 3 really powerful tips for you today to help you get on the path to finding the happiness, the love, and the clarity that you need about your relationship. Does that sound good? Type in yes right now if that sounds good for you today. Ready? Tip number 1, focus. The power of our focus. I know, it's very, very easy to get all focused on everything that's not working. We get very focused on our partner and just everything they're doing that we're not happy with. And it brings us down. I know, I've been there. And what I want to say about that is that that's not going to help us. It doesn't help us. It's easy to do. It's easy to just, look at everything that other person's doing and sort of go into blame and judgment. But that's not where our power is. We don't have control over other people and how they choose to show up and behave. So what do we got to do? What do we got to do? We got to get our focus, just for now, off them and back onto ourselves and take the power we have to choose. How do I want to respond? I might not like this situation, but I always have a choice in how I want to respond. What do I need to do to take care of myself in this situation right now, right? And that's not to say that there aren't things that would need to change in order for would want to stay in your relationship and to be happy. But just for now, if we can just kind of take a breath, take a step back, and just for now, just get the focus back on yourself and just really focus on self-care. Like, what do I need to do? He's not showing up for me in the way that I want, probably right now. So what do I need to do to show up for me in the way that I want? Hey, Pat, good to see you. Welcome. So that's tip number 1, focus. Let's just, for now, get the focus back on ourselves, get the focus off that other person. And, if you know my story, I was married to a man who struggled with alcoholism and depression, and I completely lost myself in that whole situation. And so I know it's easy to kind of, like I said, we get focused on everything that's not working. And what I came to realize, though, after struggling with that situation for a long time, is that I did not realize how codependent I was being, how much I was really depending on him to sort of be my rock, be my sense of security, give me all that love, that approval, that validation. My sense of who I was sort of kind of wrapped up, kind of enmeshed in him. And if you all can type in if you can relate to any of this, but that's that's kind of a common thing, is like we get it's I know for me, like, that was the pattern. It's easier for me to focus on trying to fix you and rescue you than to look at my own stuff, right? But after a while, I became aware that this is not even about him anymore. This is not about the relationship and everything that's going on. I really finally got to the point where I really accepted, like, I really don't have control over anybody else except for myself. And where am I in all of this? So I ask you, where are you? Where are you right now with everything that's going on, all the struggles that you're having? So let's get our focus back on ourselves. And I also want to say, really, like, this is not even about him. It's not about our partner. This is about us and our relationship with ourselves. And I say that with total love, because we all have our stuff. We all have our patterns. And, like, we all develop these patterns as kids. Maybe things like people pleasing, or just like we just are looking to other people for that love and approval. That was my story. That was my whole life story. You know, I feel like I spent my whole life just looking for sources outside myself for that validation, that love, that approval that most of us never got. You know, even if you had the most well-intentioned parents growing up, I know very, very, very few people, if any, that really grew up with a very healthy, intact sense of self-esteem of who they are. You know, it's just, everyone's human and doing the best with what they have. And so this is the work now that I've been embarking on for decades, and that I love helping everyone else with now too. Like, how do we come into a good, right, loving relationship with ourselves so that we're not in, you know, in those kind of unhealthy patterns anytime. You know, I think that's kind of the root of all our challenges. Would you agree? It's like we're just kind of looking to other people on some level, to some degree. We're looking for love, we're looking for security, we're looking for approval from other people. And so we're sort of setting ourselves up for trouble. We're setting ourselves up for trouble. That's what I learned. Learned the hard way, is that I am no longer willing to make my well-being dependent on anyone else and how they're choosing to show up. Because, you know, like I said, everyone's human and they're all just kind of doing the best they can. And so it's really our own job. Happiness is our inside job. It's our own job. So I really invite you to, you know, if any of this is resonating with you, to just really get the focus back on yourself and just ask yourself this question anytime you're feeling any negative emotion. This is your bottom line, go-to question. What do I need to do right now to just take care of myself? Or what do I need to do today to take care of myself? Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And so that's how we get to the place of real clarity, and that's how we get the love we want. We all know this, right? We hear this all the time. You gotta love yourself before you can love anyone else. Well, it's true. And so how do we do that? That's our work. And this is a good start, right? Would you agree? Like, let's get the focus off that other person, off everything that, you know, we don't have control over, and just look at, oh, okay, what do I need to do for me? Get the focus back on myself. What do I need to do? How do I need to show up for me right now? And just know, like, you know, we all have these patterns, and it's really not your fault. These are patterns we developed as kids as survival mechanisms to make sure that our needs were met. And so most of us have this kind of what I call a core limiting belief. Is in some way, shape, or form we came out believing that somehow we're unworthy or not good enough. Like, it's pretty rampant, I think. I don't know too many people that don't have, like, at least a little bit of that kind of, you know, limiting beliefs about ourselves that we just learned. It's like, either I feel like part of me feels like I'm not good enough, or unworthy in some way. What I have to say is not important. Yeah. Can you relate to any of this? Type in if you can relate to any of this. And, you know, so that's really, these patterns are really at the root of all our challenges, our relationship challenges. And so that's our goal. That's where really our focus needs to be. If we want to experience good, healthy, loving relationships, and we want to get to the place of finding real clarity, if you're in that question of whether or not you can be happy in the context of this relationship or not, is we've got to get in good, right, loving relationship with ourselves and start to release these old patterns. And I know that's way easier said than done. And honestly, that's the kind of stuff that we need help with. We need coaching support with. And so I'm happy to let you know that I am going to be doing another free masterclass. Save the date. It's coming up Thursday, November 9th at 7 Eastern for about an hour. I will probably pretty soon over this weekend, I'll pop a link in for more information on that. But it's going to be really transformational. We're going to talk about how do you free yourself from these old patterns that are really not serving us anymore and are at the root of our challenges, our relationship challenges. We're going to talk about the number one mistake that women make when trying to get their needs met inside their relationships. And we're going to talk about what does it really take to create loving, supportive, fulfilling relationship that lasts. How do we really do that? And how do you get the ultimate clarity that you need to be able to make decisions that are right for you if you're in that question of whether or not to stay or go. So it's going to be a powerful evening. Mark it on your calendar right now. Save the date and watch for more information about how to sign up for that. Thursday, November 9th, 7 Eastern for about an hour. We're going to be on Zoom together live. I'm excited to hopefully get to meet some of you on Zoom. And just remember for now, your bottom line go-to question, wouldn't it feel so good? Wouldn't it feel good to just be able to focus on yourself right now? Take all that energy we're spending on focusing on the problems and everything that's not working. And that doesn't mean you should be a doormat and not ask for what you need, but just all the energy, right, that we're putting out, that we're expending. It's like, let's just take all that, and let's put it back on ourselves. Like, what's one fun thing you can do for yourself this weekend? What's something that could even if you just have a few minutes, like, what's one thing I could do to make myself feel good? Well, the weather's gorgeous over here where I am this weekend, so I'm going to be outside doing something. That's where I get to fill my cup up. Yeah, be outside in nature. So, type and share with us. What do you do? What do you do to kind of replenish your energy and get centered? And we can't give from an empty cup, all right? So, take good care of yourself. Watch for more information on the free masterclass coming up. It's the 3 keys to get the love you want, starting with our own. And I love you. Sending you lots of good vibes, and take very good care of yourself this weekend. And I will talk to you soon. Give this a thumbs up if it was helpful for you. That gives me some feedback as far as how I can best support you. Type in any questions, comments. Say hi if you're on the recording. And I'll be going back to look for those. All right. Good to be with you. Have a great weekend. Lots of love. Bye for now.